Hey everybody, happy Tuesday, talking about pride. Yesterday we talked about building organizational pride. Now let's talk about building individual pride. When we can put time and energy into individual pride, the impact of that is exceeded job expectations, more innovative and creative employees that are willing to take more ownership, greater responsibility, and a less stressful workplace. So how do we do it? Step number 1, clarity. Clarify the importance of the employee specifically and their specific role to that broader, bigger goal that we talked about yesterday and its importance. So I've got to be able to show the employee how we're doing this big, noble why, which is true, the goals that we've set, and how they individually help us get there. If we can show them that, if we can show them the link between their daily activity and making that noble and honorable cause come true, pride in their specific task, which is different than pride in the organization I work for. Now, there are some people that just take pride in their work because they take pride in their work. But I think you would agree with me that's fewer and far between today. So we have to deploy strategies that will help that person see their value, their importance, and their meaning of their specific task. And frankly, in these difficult budget times, if somebody still has a job, it's probably important. So what ways can we do that? Job-specific evaluations. Clarify expectations and job expectations. Things of that nature. But ultimately, it's the supervisor and through your supervisor's responsibility to show them the big picture and how their little part is vital to us getting it complete. When we connect those dots for people, that's the beginning of individual pride. Measurable performance standards. I'm not going to go into a long dissertation about that. We can talk about that another time. But do you have some way that we're measuring people's performance? Performance standards not just about accountability and productivity. It's about pride. Because when I know I'm being judged by an objective standard, industry standard, regional standard, in-house standard, whatever, then I know exactly where I stand. I'm not being judged by some subjective supervisor that I don't hang out with, that I don't eat with, that I don't chum around with. I'm being judged by a standard that is objective. Employees feel more safe and secure. At first you might get some pushback, but they feel more safe and secure. Job specific. And it's funny, the easiest way to build job specific evaluations is to let the employees tell you. I just say this, what does it take to be good at this job? What are the attributes? How would we see that? Just those couple questions, boom, boom, boom. My Human Resources Department forces us to use the same evaluation all the way across. That's perfect, no big deal. So you create an informal way that the employees can judge themselves. Pride. Then you regularly measure that and provide some kind of scorecard. Here's how you are doing. Just like here's how we are doing, here's how you are doing. I call it speed evaluation. Every quarter or so we sit down with our employees, we just have a quick chat. They tell us what they think, we tell them what they think. It's that simple. Now remember, you are trying to get the person furthest away from you to take pride. You're a systems thinker. You're a catalyst for responsibility. Your performance is judged not on your own individual performance, but on the performance of the person furthest away from you. So you're creating this culture. So you have to create the systems and processes and teaching this, right? And teaching this. Okay. Then we've got to have ways that we celebrate, both formally and informally, when somebody performs. And we coach when someone doesn't. But we don't allow poor performance to consistently stay. That doesn't mean people don't have a bad day. But week after week, month after month, we can't have that, because that kills pride. That destroys pride amongst everybody else. Pride comes from why I do, what I do, measurement, and then who I do it with. So I celebrate both formally and informally. Now, I'm not a big fan of Employee of the Month, because that means one person wins and everybody else loses. I'm more of, here's the standard. Anybody that reaches that standard, we celebrate anybody that gets over the bar, as opposed to just one winner. Because we know that there's more than one person doing something great every month in our department or every quarter or annually. So when you're looking at formal recognition programs, I would strongly encourage you, here's the standard. Anybody that gets over, celebrate. And coaching poor performance. I've already talked with your direct reports about a flow chart and a process for coaching poor performance. If you want to see that video and that flow chart, let me know or talk to them about it. It's very, very good. Finally, in all instances, ensure that the standard is being held equally. Because again, no greater way to kill pride than inconsistent or subjective application of the standard or the perceived standard. That flow will lead you to greater pride. When an employee knows that why they're doing what they're doing, how it connects to the greater good, and that the greater good has value and meaning. That they have standards, so they know that what they're doing is good, that their specific task, they're good at it, and that's being regularly celebrated, or when they stumble and fall, they're being coached to help them to get to that standard. And when it's being met out equally, you have an environment ripe to build individual pride. Thoughtfully consider it. One last message tomorrow. See you later, everybody.